The way that EduEdge taught me how to improve my English really helped me a lot.
Join EduEdge because the formulas are great, the teachers are great, lessons are very interesting and fun, and it will definitely improve your English.
The techniques that they're teaching to you, right, you can really use it in real life. It was quite entertaining and I managed to learn a lot of different things.
My friends would laugh at me because they feel like language is a subject that you just cannot study for. But I'm glad that I was able to prove them wrong.
Hi, I'm Yong Yew from Xin Yee Catholic School.
And Li from Mayflower Secondary School.
Hi, my name is Xin Yee and I'm previously from Batriysia's convent.
Batriysia and I was from CHIJ St. Joseph's Convent.
Before EduEdge, I was trying my best to improve my own self by reading more and learning new vocabs. I didn't feel it was really helpful or it provided a clear path of how I would improve my English.
I was actually enrolled in another tuition center, but because the way that tuition center helped us wasn't really effective, like it was just kind of like piles and piles of worksheets, but there wasn't really any initiation, like there wasn't group work or anything to get the students more interested in the language.
I joined this one tuition center nearby my home during P5 or P6, I'm not really sure already. Then afterwards, she resigned from her job when I was at 2, and then I remember that time after I got my PSLE results, she said if you get A for PSLE, then you get A for the rest of your life in English. If you get a B, you get a B for the rest of your life. So I was like, good job to me because I got a B.
From Sec 1 to Sec 2, I didn't really get much support from my English teacher. She would just give us practice papers and then mark them. And by the time she gave them back to us, I would have forgotten when I did it. And so I wouldn't know where exactly I went wrong. And when I went for consultations, she would always tell me that language is a subject that's very difficult to teach. So I lost a lot of hope.
As I said before, I was scoring like a very average B4 and I thought I couldn't move up. But in the end, O-levels I scored A2. And I actually applied quite a lot of EduEdge techniques. So I felt much more confident when doing the papers as opposed to in the past, because in the past I was just rushing through everything and my mind was like, when I was stuck at the question, it was just blank. But now, after going for EduEdge lessons and finally at O-levels, I didn't have that kind of state of panic. It was more, I felt more reassured about myself and I was more confident that I would do better.
For prelims, I was able to attain a B3 and then continuing to get an A2 for O-levels. The entire thing was quite stressful because due to my school results, I felt I actually doubted the formulas before, but then I continued to apply and I worked hard and make use of all the formulas, fully deepening it into my memory.
And I managed to learn a lot of different things. I still remember the techniques from the first lesson that I joined, which was score. It was one of my favorite techniques. For my situation writing, it was just normally 16, 17, 18. Then the best that I ever got was 19. You never reached a 20 before. So that one time I applied score into my situation writing, I got about 20 or 21, which I thought was very good. Then afterwards, I continued applying all the strategies that I learned from EduEdge. I'm actually quite glad that I joined EduEdge because I managed to get an A, which even though it was A2, my goal was A1, but I think it was quite a good thing because I actually managed to improve from normally it's the low B4 to high C5 to an A2, which is better than I expected.
So I decided to join EduEdge, and on the trial, they actually looked through my SA2 papers and could tell me exactly where I went wrong, how I could improve. And that was something no tuition centers have ever told me. They would just tell me my mistake and just leave it there, and I don't know how to improve. I applied EduEdge method, and for the first time when I saw the compo question, I wasn't actually blanked and I felt like I had nothing to write about. I used the 4W1H that Mr. Cheng told us, so I questioned every single thing I wrote down on the paper. I also tried to do a lot of school papers that the school gave me using EduEdge method, and I was able to do very well. Even on the day of O-levels when I was studying for English, my friends would laugh at me because they feel like language is a subject that you just cannot study for. But I'm glad that I was able to prove them wrong. So I came into the examination hall pretty nervous, even though I knew I was quite well prepared, but I've never scored a distinction in my entire secondary school journey. So scoring an A2 for O-levels was shocking for me, and it really made me believe that EduEdge was very beneficial for my English grades.
When I first joined EduEdge, I found the lesson very interesting and engaging. Like, it was a whole new way of learning English, completely different from my normal English lesson in school. I learned a lot of formulas which are very helpful. Everything was great. The teachers were very helpful, engaging. It really helped me improve my English because personally I also feel that I can write English better.
In school, when I was doing oral, I thought I was already quite good at oral until I came to EduEdge, and then when I submitted, I think, a reading passage to Mr. Giggs, then he actually helped me realize like which points I'm actually quite lacking in. Like, I was reading too fast, and then during the spoken interaction lessons, I actually gained a lot of good advice, like how to develop my ideas and other points which really helped me a lot, because previously, before EduEdge, I was actually struggling to come up with good oral points for when the teachers asked the questions. So I think that really helped me a lot.
It was mainly the games, because after a whole day of school, you come to EduEdge, you think it's going to be learning, but no, they actually have some games and fun. So like, you actually get to distress a bit. I also think that all the extra videos that we had, right, and all the worksheets were actually very helpful. So like, I actually got my mom to print out every single thing for me, and I actually managed to do it.
After the first lesson, I actually felt like EduEdge was the first online class I really enjoyed. The teachers made sure that they covered what they had to cover, and at the same time gave us breaks in between. And that made me feel like they didn't only care about my grades but also my well-being as a student. And they also made sure to touch on every single component, and I felt like it was as effective as face-to-face classes. So I felt like that was a very memorable moment for me.
I think the way that EduEdge taught me how to improve my English really helped me a lot. Like, the formula methods and all the group work really got my passion up for the English language. Yeah.
Just joining EduEdge lessons is not enough to improve your English grade, because you will have to apply the formulas in your RISE assignments, school work, school exams, and also do it for your own revision. Look through your notes, fully internalize everything and understand, because it takes a lot of hard work. It doesn't only require you to attend lessons and then you get a good grade. So join EduEdge because the formulas are great, the teachers are great, lessons are very interesting and fun, and it will definitely improve your English.
You should really join, because it's not about just learning here. It's actually really the techniques that they're teaching to you, right? You can actually really use it in real life. You can even use like all the oral techniques that they taught to like talk to people and make yourself seem more confident and more fluent. They even have fun, games, and plus like probably the games will be like your favorite segment after every single lesson already.
I feel like they should join EduEdge if you're on the fence or you are very